Hi, I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapin.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, we're standing in the Vancouver Convention Centre, and right behind us is Lot 185, which is a really cool cafe that will be ground zero for the Vancouver International Wine Festival coming up February 22nd to March 1st.
It is a great spot, great happy hour too. It's open throughout the year. Now, coming up in this edition of Our City Tonight, I'm going to go across the pond, or in this case, the sea bus, over to the Lonsdale Quay area. There's a brand new Joey restaurant opening up in the Shipyards area. We're going to check that out. And after you watch this title sequence, we'll be in Lot 185 in front of those lights and that camera to check out some wines with Harry Hertzsteg, who is the Executive Wine Director of the Vancouver International Wine Festival. It's all coming your way next. Well, as we said in our intro, we are now in Lot 185 here at the Convention Centre, and we're joined by our old friend Harry Hertzsteg, who is the Executive Director of the Vancouver International Wine Festival. Harry, we do this every February and January with you. What is the theme this year?
Yeah, we're getting used to this.
Well, first of all, in just a couple of weeks, the wine world will be here, the whole wine world.
That's right.
16 countries. But it's true, there is one particular country that we are putting a big spotlight on. And they make wine, and they make a lot of wine.
I heard that, yeah.
And the country is France.
Excellent.
We love France. Yes,
And you know
we
what that
do.
means?
That means
French wine.
yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
From
Okay.
all over France.
Well, you have, is there 8 or 10 regions of France that you are featuring in the Wine Fest? I know you have 4 here for us to talk about and learn a little bit about.
There's lots of regions in France. And I know here in Canada and in North America, and mostly around the world, we talk about grapes. When people think of wine, they always want to know what the grapes are. But in France, they have a tradition that the name of the wine, the type of wine, the heart of the wine isn't the grape, it's the place.
Ah, okay.
So it's really the region that matters in France. And each of these 4 bottles here today is from a different French region.
What's our first region?
Well, I'm thinking I'm recognizing the shape of this beauty.
Champagne.
Yes.
We're kicking off the festival with champagne at our Bacchanalia Gala Dinner and Auction, which is a big fundraiser for Bar on the Beach. And champagne will be flowing much of the week, as there's going to be 42 French wineries in all. And
Yeah,
why
she
don't
gets
you
that.
have some champagne?
Well, I thought you would
Come
never
on.
ask.
I know, I
All
won't
right.
even ask here. Would you like a glass of champagne?
Yes, I totally will taste this. As I'm tasting, tell us a little bit about this particular one.
This is Taittinger. And
Taittinger.
Taittinger.
There we go, I didn't know.
There we go.
And
Okay.
it's a blend of Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier, even though I didn't mention it wasn't really about the grapes, but
Yum.
it's from Champagne, which is in the north of France, very cool climate, and it's the standard of sparkling wine. When usually people say, oh, let's have a glass of champagne, they're usually just referring to sparkling wine, but this is the real thing. This is the real champagne, and it's delicious.
Oh, it is.
And you can
definitely.
toast with it too, right? It's
Yes.
great. And
Okay,
so
that lets me have another sip.
And it leads us right into our next region. I mean, without a glass yet.
I'm grabbing a glass.
No, you got it. It's your job.
And
What's next?
Well, if you head west from Champagne, you go to a region called Loire Valley.
Oh, yeah,
it's the
yeah.
longest river in France, and they have lots of wine regions within the Loire Valley. This one is from Sancerre, and Sancerre is famous for Sauvignon Blanc. And
Okay.
it is, they also have a screw cap. So you think, oh, well, the French have always been, they're not, embracing, the new techniques of the modern world. Well, this one is screw cap. But really at the heart of France, they don't have to change. They are doing great wines for hundreds of years, and they're doing great wines today. And this is a beautiful, crisp wine they have with seafood and first courses. And then I hear you like red.
Oh, yes, I like red very much, yes.
Well, maybe got a glass of red wine
Oh,
for
I
you.
finally got a glass in my hand here. Okay.
Happy now.
Where are we going with this lovely smelling red?
We're going to the south of France.
Okay.
Into the second longest river in France, which is the Rhone River. This is in the Rhone Valley and a particular region called Gigondas. And it's a blend of different grapes, mostly Grenache and Syrah, but it's a heartwarming red wine for wintertime or all year round, and I have a feeling you're going to really like this
Oh,
wine.
I see.
Yes. Oh,
The eyes lit up.
Because it is a rainy, ugly day when we're filming today, folks. It's February. But this is from what region?
From Gigondas, which is a appellation.
Right.
a sub-region within the Rhone Valley in France.
Very
Okay,
nice.
going to our last wine, sadly, but
Who's gonna?
well,
We're gonna fight over this.
we're
Is it?
I got an idea.
We all love rosé. Who doesn't love rosé?
I mentioned that France is our theme, but we're also doing a spotlight
Okay.
on a type of wine because we feel it's a style of wine that shouldn't just be in the summertime, should be year-round. And the first one to guess what our spotlight is on can.
Okay, rosé.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
see?
yeah, it's
We
let
all
her have it.
You get the
Oh my God,
rosé.
I got
She looks better with 2 drinks in her hand than I do, so that's good.
And this is also from the south of France, from a region called Tavel, and they are famous for rosés along with Provence. And throughout the week, we have 57 events over the course of the week, and some of them are specific to France, some of them
Right.
are specific to rosé, some have wines from around the world. There's dinners, there's seminars, and of course there is the big International Festival tasting room right behind us because
behind
we're
us,
here
yeah.
at the convention center, and that's on Thursday and Friday and Saturday night and Saturday afternoon when the whole wine world will be there, 162 wineries. These are just 4 bottles of over 700 wines that will be
Just
that you can
incredible.
sample.
I love the fact that, I mean, I love to travel, and I was in Italy and blah, blah, blah. I was in France actually last year too. But here you can come and try the most unique wines because the wine festival brings in global wines that you just can't get here.
That's right, they're not necessarily regular listings. When you go to the on-site liquor store, every wine that you can taste in that tasting room is available for sale. And if it has a blue dot on it, it means it's not a regular listing.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
wow.
And not only can you buy any of these bottles, but the BC liquor stores will ship any of your purchases, 1 bottle, 3 bottles, 2 cases, to your local liquor store anywhere in British Columbia
Very nice.
at no charge.
Oh my gosh.
We should mention too, your website is
vanwinefest.ca.
very
You know, all the
nice.
information there about tickets and all the information that's in these brochures are on the website. Festival at Glance is a great thing because it shows all the events that are
excellent.
sold out, still for sale. And when you click on one of the events, it takes you to the web page with the list of wines, the menu. And when you buy a ticket to Wine Festival, no surprises, all the price, inclusive of all taxes, all food, all
Nice.
gratuities, no surprises at checkout. We want to make it easy for
Yeah.
you to enjoy the world of wine.
Well, for the 42nd International Wine Festival here in Vancouver, they're going strong.
Thank you.
And
Merci.
we would be remiss though if we did not. We would be remiss. These two are already drinking. We would be remiss if we didn't mention one of the really safe aspects you have too is that you can go to a website to check out hotel rooms and how it connects to the festival. Tell our viewers about that too.
StayVancouverHotels.com has lots of specials on 39 different hotels, and like why go to the wine festival and then go home? Stay at a hotel, enjoy the weekend, go to the great restaurants, and then when you buy those wines, you can just check it in with the liquor board, leave hands-free, and then they'll ship it to your liquor
You
store.
don't want to
week
be a
later.
designated driver when you come to the wine
Yeah.
festival,
No.
not at all.
Don't wine and drive.
No.
And in the last few seconds, we've had the wonderful folks here at Lot 185 drop some food off for us here. Great little spot, great happy hour. Lita, you like coming here because they make great gluten-free pizza.
And their poke bowl is on special on Wednesdays. So, wow. And this pizza smells so good, this mushroom one in front of me.
Which means we have to wrap up because we want to eat now. But hey, when you see us on our next episode, we'll be with Harry for the 3rd time, and we will be right in the middle of the festival. That's coming up in our next episode. But for now, Harry, thank you for a little preview here for the Wine Festival.
Santé.
Cheers.
Vive la France.
Thanks to Lot 185. Well, there is a brand new spot here in Lonsdale in the Shipyards area. It's a brand new Joey, and boy, what a good-looking place it is. We're going to check out some food a little later. We're also going to talk to the CEO of the Joey Restaurant Group, but first we're with a guy that I always like to get to know when he's in this position, and that is the bar and lounge. You're in charge of all the drinks.
Yeah,
Harry.
the director of bar and lounge.
That's what I was trying to say. You put the words right into my mouth. His name is Jesse, and he's here right now to talk about a great new cocktail. We're going to talk about your cocktail list in a second, but you brought one specifically up here that you want us to try for our first segment here at Joey Restaurant. What do you got for us?
This is called the Jungle Bird. So it's a new one that we brought just to Shipyards. It's going to be launching company-wide, but we're featuring it here first.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a quasi-tiki cocktail.
Oh, okay.
You know, so you think like we say boozy and bitter. So you got the tropical vibes and a little boozy and a little bitter.
I've been called boozy and bitter before, so that's okay. And this is just launching here tonight.
Yep.
At the new party. Okay, well, let me try a little sip of this.
Cheers.
Cheers. I've never had rum with Aperol before.
It's kind of nice, isn't
That's
it?
a really nice combination. And that's not just a summer thing. I could see drinking it on a night like this.
It's refreshing, it's filling, it's, you know, it's an escape. It can be a lot of different things for you.
That's right. Tell us about what you got planned here for the cocktail list for your customers.
For the program, we focus on, we say modern classics and, of course, globally inspired.
Yeah.
And so we try to take the best of our travels and what we've seen and try to match the menu in that way. So modern classics kind of being something that is a newer kind of a cocktail, but something that has been reiterated, so we consider it like, you know, a classic.
I always ask chefs this. I'll ask you this with what you do. Do you have a favorite cocktail personally?
Ooh. No, it's always dependent. I think a lot of people have a go-to. They'll say, you know, Negroni, old-fashioned. I love Scotch, so it's normally something like that. But
that's a pretty good answer. That's
it's always changing.
Yeah,
it's always changing.
Something for everyone. Okay, this name is again?
This is the Jungle Bird.
The Jungle Bird, brand new
Cheers.
at the brand new Joey restaurant here in the Shipyard. We're going to come back a little bit. We're going to go from Jesse talking cocktails. We're going to talk to Chris, the executive chef, about some of the food that you can check out here and all the Joeys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Well, we are back here at Joey Restaurant in the Shipyards. For those people who may not know where that is, that's in the Lonsdale Key area. I'm now here with Chris, the executive chef. We tried cocktails first, Chris. Now we're back here, party in full swing. We're going to get to that later. But let's talk about some of the great food you are offering your customers here at Joey.
Okay, thank you. First up, we have one of our featured sushi.
Okay.
This is a very unique style out of Osaka, Japan.
Yeah.
It's a pressed sushi or a batara box.
Explain that to our viewers.
Well, it's just it's a technique rather than a roll,
right.
Or a hand cone. Or this is pressed in a specially made box, and we're able to cut it. It's just got a different texture, and then of course we love texture, so we've got a little bit of crispy tempura on top. I love heat, so I've got a little bit of serrano on top.
Right.
And this one I suggest with no soy. This is lime.
Oh, excellent.
And
Okay.
cracked black pepper.
I don't often have soy myself, so this is nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's
Beautiful.
a very unique combination, but it's excellent.
Before we get to the next dish, we should say you offer, what do you do, 3 different sushi dishes?
Yeah.
Small amount, but you do them well.
Yeah, what you'll see at Shipyards is we have a beautiful sushi station the moment you walk in, and yeah, we do a hand rolled cone.
Yeah.
We do a classic sushi roll, and then this Osaka press.
We're going to move on to another, I guess, an appetizer here. Very
Yes,
nice. What do we
yes.
got going on here?
So our hummus, we we specialize in globally inspired items. We love to travel. We love great kind of bold flavors. Hummus is such a pleasing, heartwarming. Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
So we've done all the interesting things for hummus. Lots of spices with the za'atar on top. Super smooth. We've paired it with tzatziki, and we make our own handmade
I was going to
pitas.
say,
that
good
we-
to know. Handmade here. Yeah?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Very nice.
Currants, pickled currants, and some little Kalamata olives.
I'm really curious about this last dish here. It's the cod. Explain what you've done with this dish. This is one of your main courses here.
Yeah, so the Pacific, wild Pacific cod,
Right.
again, we love texture, so there's almonds, crispy almonds in the rice, some crispy rice as well as regular rice. And it's just one of those real comfort dishes,
Right.
Malaysian in style. So that's a beautiful blend of a coconut curry and an Indian spice curry. So it's
very
an
nice.
Indian coconut curry.
And we have in here.
So this is the curry sauce itself, and yeah, beautiful way to have our wild Pacific BC cod, some highlights of pickled Fresno peppers, and then all the aromatics on top. Cilantro, mint, a little bit of Thai basil.
I always ask this when we talk to chefs like you. You can't get complacent with your food. You
Right.
cannot. You're constantly looking to add new things, maybe remove things. Is that a constant thing with you guys?
It is. I mean, we really go after favorites that we love,
Yeah.
but we test them. We test them at one of our test restaurants. We'll feature a lot of them here because this is our latest and greatest.
Chris, I thank you for joining us here on the patio. I know a busy night at party in there.
Yeah.
As I say, we're going to get to the party a little later, but thank you for joining us here on the patio with a great view. We will return to Joey Shipyard here in the Lonsdale Key area for one last time. We're going to talk to Jeff Fuller. You don't know who he is? We'll explain who he is, and we'll check out the party in our last segment here at Joey, here on Our City Tonight. Well, we are well into the year 2020, and we're here for our first Inside Business segment of the new year here on Our City Tonight. And for that, we headed up to the Main Street area, right near King Edward. I'm sitting here with Kevin Reed on my left, and my far left, it's Braden Parker. They are the owners, founders of a great brand called Casca, and we're at their store, which is known as the Casca Lounge. Guys, thanks for welcoming us. Let's start with a little description of the brand. Braden, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what we really found is that as people started wearing, with the athleisure movement and everyone wearing the same clothes throughout the day, we felt that shoes weren't keeping pace.
Right.
And so you had people that were wearing running shoes all day when they're designed for running. You had people that were wearing Converse and Vans and some more lifestyle shoes, but they don't provide any amount of support. And then you kind of had these really well-designed premium classic shoes, but they also don't have any sort of technical capabilities. And we felt like a problem we were having was, you know, you'd bike to work and it would be raining and then you'd go and meet up with friends. And we didn't have a pair of shoes that could really keep pace with everything that we were doing. And we set out to create that perfect everyday shoe.
I like that, and certainly a lot of guys a lot younger than me, but I'm even starting to see myself thinking about doing this, and that's wearing the kind of shoe you guys designed with like the outfit I've got on right now, where you can, and they're very comfortable. I've had a pair on. Let's talk, Kevin, you're more the designer side of the company. Can you talk about what went into designing this shoe, which is really, in the 2 months you guys have been open, has just gone through the roof sales-wise?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the initial concept was we wanted to create a shoe that you could wear with almost anything and do almost anything in. And we wanted to rethink kind of how everyday shoes are approached. So the first thing we did was went to an orthotic lab and talked to them about, you know, your feet, and obviously, you know, this is the most important aspect of a shoe in our minds is how to support and how to give the rest of your body a, you know, the right kind of counterbalance to do, you know, anything in a day.
One of the things I was really struck with, and Braden, you jump in here, the thing you were struck with when I first see this brand and I come into the lab, the store, is technology, as you guys have alluded to, is front and center. And let's talk a little bit about the technology and the 3D printing, which for a guy like me, an older guy, it's just, you guys had to walk me in and go, this is what it does. And talk a little bit, Bray, we'll start with you about, because I love this thing where the Casca app maps 20,000, I'm reading this to make sure I get it right, unique data points that can help design the shoe for you that's best for your foot.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, as we started working with this orthotic lab, what we learned is that everyone's feet are incredibly unique. And not only are my feet unique to me relative to you, but my right foot is actually unique relative to my left.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we wanted to create a shoe that could support you in any condition. And the solution to that we felt was with 3D printing. And so, you know, we took a step back and said, you know, where is the world going to be in 10 years from now? And we felt like, you know, everything is going to be different, and there's going to be 3D printing and sort of new ways of manufacturing products. And we felt like using 3D printing, we could actually create a functional benefit by tailoring the actual support to each individual's foot.
Right.
And so our app, we use photogrammetry and
Photogrammetry.
It's called photogrammetry. And we basically use a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, and we're able to use the 4 different corners of the point, or the 4 different corners of that piece of paper relative to your foot, and create this 3D model of each person's foot.
And then you add this, you can also add the additional part of the insole, I guess you'd call it.
Exactly,
For like,
yeah.
Kevin,
So
Kevin,
that's the 3D printed aspect. And I think for us, we want to use technology in a way that's purposeful and actually provides an advantage to people. So our standard insole, which isn't 3D printed, kind of provides a base level of orthotic support.
Yeah.
And then, you know, for people that have, you know, sunken arches or plantar fasciitis, then we offer this kind of more tailored solution. And I think as we look forward, we're looking at how this technology can be placed into different other components of the shoe. So can we, you know, create an entirely custom shoe from 3D printing and 3D manufacturing techniques?
Talk about going to, you have your store, your lab as you're calling it, you've got that here, but talk a little bit about the kind of direct to the consumer. Is there a plan down the road to get into the bigger stores, or do you feel you have more control when you kind of say, not being control freaks, but we want to oversee our own brand, every aspect?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's been a really, really fun challenge, because ultimately we're having to incorporate a scanning experience into a store. And so for us, we wanted to make sure that before we look at going anywhere else, we're able to really dial that. And then the second big point is that by going direct to consumer, it really allows us to provide a higher value product.
Yeah.
So we're able to skip the markup that we would get by going through wholesale. So our shoe should be closer to $500. We're able to offer it at $228 for the leather, $198 for the knit, which we wouldn't be able to do if we went through wholesale.
That's very cool. And I got to mention this too, these, you also guys are in the sock business, and I don't own stock in the company, so don't get that on your head, but I've tried these socks where I'm wearing dress shoes or shoes like yours all day. These are something you want to have as well, because I love these. I've had a pair for about 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, the socks are awesome. They're merino wool. We wanted to provide the full footwear solution. I obviously wear them every day.
Guys, congratulations. This is a wonderful success story. It's Braden Parker and Kevin Reed. Casca is the store that you can find, or the lab as they're calling. Come check it out. It's the 3D printers, wild to look at, right on Main Street, close to King Edward. And look for them online at casca.com. Guys, thank you very much for joining us on our first Inside Business segment of 2020. Well, we are back here at Joey Restaurant in the Shipyards, Lonsdale Key area for the final time, and it's good we are back here because we got the man himself. It's Jeff Fuller, CEO of Joey Restaurant Group. Jeff, thank you for joining us. I know you had a busy night here. Tell our viewers out there about this brand new location. I mean, they've been seeing it throughout the show, but talk about the journey you went on to get this built.
Well, it's been a little while. I think it's been just over 3 years since we've been working on it, and it took a while because, of course, they had to develop the infrastructure around it. Unbelievable skating rink, and then, of course, some underground parking, and then we finally got to get access and start building our pieces inside as of March.
Very nice. How long have you guys been around? Because I do dine at your places often, but it seems like you've been here a long time, but you tell our viewers.
1992 is when I started, and that was in Southwest Calgary, actually.
Okay, yeah. What was the concept? I mean, you guys are constantly, I mean, I would say in your category, the food is better than it was, I'd say 15 years ago. You're constantly looking to up things and give more to the customer. Can you talk about how that process works?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, for us, we're very food forward. It's always been a passion of ours. We think that's where that's how you get longevity in this business. Yeah. And so we focus on it. We were one of the sort of first people to bring somebody like Chris Mills in from what would be considered fine dining and bring them into what we call sort of premium casual. I remember it clearly. It was 1998, and he was representing Canada in Bocuse d'Or.
That's really what I've noticed, though, is that you said premium casual. That's a good phrase, because I think the food is excellent in your category now. More locations coming, or are you just going to chill out after getting this big, beautiful flagship open on the North Shore?
We're busy. We're looking. You know, we just opened our second store in Los Angeles, but we had a downtown Los Angeles restaurant that was very well received.
Very nice.
We're building in Manhattan Beach as well, Aventura, Florida, and Houston, and I've got a couple other sites that are not quite ready to announce yet, but, but they're on my desk and I'm working on them.
I got to tell you, it's not a pleasant night tonight outside, that is. Great inside, but boy, this is going to be one hell of a view when you get to the warmer weather.
I think it's one of the best.
I agree. I have to ask you one more question. Sure. Do you have a favorite item on the Joey menu?
I have several. I mean, we reinstated the ramen that we had on. We shifted it off for a couple of years. We opened it in LA. It was really well received again, and so I love that, especially on weather like today. We have a wonderful blackened chicken that we do, as well as seared sushi. So it's quite eclectic, and even the butter chicken and the hummus, that's great to munch on. I had that last night. So
very nice, Jeff. I know you're busy tonight. Thanks for taking some time to talk to us, and congratulations on this new location.
Great, thanks
Appreciate
for coming.
You bet. Thank you. Well, we're back here at the Vancouver Convention Center where we started things off in front of Lot 185 restaurants.
We love it in there. Great happy hour, really great food, and quite a diversity of food too, as we showed.
You like the gluten-free pizzas.
I really do like that.
Hey, don't forget to check out past episodes of our show on our YouTube channel. You can also check us out on various social media with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, Our City Tonight. I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Lita Leapin.
We'll see you on the next edition of Our City Tonight.
Sponsorship for the health and wellness segment is provided by Enerex Botanicals Limited.
Inside Real Estate segments are brought to you by Team Kerr, real estate advice for life. Outdoor wear for Jim and Lita provided by Helly Hansen, alive since 1877.
Some of my clothing has been provided by Blushing Boutique, located in downtown Vancouver and online. Youngblood Mineral Cosmetics provided by Soluzione Spa Products.